Hi, this is Simone, and I'm the Zen Mommy. I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. And today we have a Zen reading. All right, let's see what the cards have in store for us today to give us some encouragement on our ascension journey. Okay, we got this card, and it's called Clinging to the Past. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay, so it's a woman and she has a box block head. It looks like there's a blue side with stars. In the box, there's millions of lips, teeth, with teeth and mouth. They look like they're saying stuff. And to give you one more look before we read the book, all right, give me 1 second. I'm going to look up this reading. I actually believe when I first got this deck, it was one of the first cards that I pulled. All right. The figure pictured in the card is so preoccupied with clutching her box of memories that she has turned her back on the sparkling champagne glass of blessings available here and now. Her nostalgia for the past really makes her a blockhead and a beggar besides, as we can see from her patched and ragged clothes. She needn't be a beggar, of course, but she is not available to taste the pleasures that offer themselves in the present. It is time to face up to the fact that the past is gone, and any effort to repeat it is a sure way to stay stuck in old blueprints that you would have already outgrown if you hadn't been so busy clinging to what you have already been through. Take a deep breath, put the box down, tie it up in a pretty ribbon if you must, and bid it a fond and reverent farewell. Life is passing by you, and you're in danger of becoming an old fossil before your time. These tenses, past, present, and future, are not tenses of time. They are tenses of the mind. That which is no longer before the mind becomes the past, which is no longer, that which is no longer before the mind becomes the past. That which is before the mind is the present. And that which is going to be before the mind is the future. Past is which is no longer before you. Future is that what is not yet before you. And the present is that which is before you and slipping out of your sight. Okay, this present is before you and slipping out of your sight. Soon it will be the past. If you don't cling to the past, because clinging to the past is absolute stupidity, it is no longer there. So you are crying for spilled milk. What is gone, and don't cling to the present because that is also going and soon it will be the past. Don't cling to the future, hopes, imaginations, plans for tomorrow, because tomorrow will become today, will become yesterday. Everything is going to become yesterday. Everything is going to go out of your hands. Clinging will simply create misery. You will have to let go. Oh, we have a little visitor here. Okay. Are you gonna? Okay, I need you to be quiet for this video. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see if we can do this with him here. All right. So this woman, she's not focused on the champagne cup of blessings behind us, the sparkling. She's so focused. She's holding on to her block box of the past. And so, as I can see, there's a theme going on between ever since I decided to do this journey of raising my vibration and getting myself out of that funk and going back to the basics with meditation and the other book I'm reading. There's a theme here about the past, about being in the present moment. There's definitely a theme going on. And I'm trying to see what the message is to me right now, or to all of us. This is one of the cards I had in the beginning of when I first got this. Dorian got this for me, my spouse, and he got the deck for me. And I remember the first time I read it, I was clinging to the past in ways that, okay, so I was in a new relationship, And, you know, as you guys know in my earlier videos, that I was in a very toxic situation. I mean, like a lot of traumatic things happened to me before I met Dorian, before I had my spiritual awakening. And after I met Dorian, a lot of things started to come up because a lot of things started to come up of what I went through. And what I went through, I started to have fears, and I started to kind of sabotage my relationship because of the fears I had of the past. And I remember when I read this book, read this thing, and I remember the thing that stuck out is stop crying over spilled milk. And I started to see that like I was holding on to that pain because I felt like if I held onto it, then I would know to never let someone hurt me again. But here I had a really like a sweet guy, and I like gave him every test in the world to see if he was a good guy. And I gave him a really hard time, and I was always triggered by past events. And I remember seeing that stop crying over spilled milk. Look at what you have right in front of you. And I remember one time we were driving, and we drove past this area that triggered me, that something happened in the past with an ex, and it triggered me. And I was like, oh my God, can we go a different way? And, he said something to me. He said, why don't you forget about that? Think about it. You're here right now with your fiance. Make it a beautiful day. And he said that, and I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing to him? Like, he's been here and he's done what no man has done before. He's been here day and night. He's been supporting me in every way with my YouTube channel, my business. And he's so loving and so thoughtful and caring. And see, I didn't know that was real, that could exist. I was traumatized so much. I was expecting the guy to still treat me bad in some ways. But I got an angel, and I had to see that this beautiful angel was right in front of me, giving me the life that I desire. And I was still allowing myself to hold on to past events that hurt me. And I started to realize that in order to move forward and have peace and joy and happiness in this relationship, I had to let go of the past. And some of last year, I was going through that. I was going through like, the whole triggering and I started to remember really traumatic things. And I got to the point like I didn't understand. So we were planning our wedding on New Year's Eve. And I decided that I was just like, you know what, we decided to reschedule it and have a big wedding. We're going to do a little intimate wedding on New Year's Eve. And I had decided, I started to realize that some of the things that was keeping me is the energetic connection. I still had paperwork from my ex. I still had an old marriage certificate and everything. And so I did a ritual on the last full moon, and I burned everything, and I let go. I cut the ties of the thoughts, of the fears, and I started to think like, look at what I have in front of me. Instead of being all here with him, I was technically hurting him by holding on to pain and assuming that life couldn't get better. And this is just a good example because it's not this. This is a lot of past things that we can hold on to. Nostalgia. Even when I look back and say, oh, I wish I was the way I was before I went through this stuff. Like when I first opened my YouTube channel, I was so zealous and stuff. But the truth is that is still an old version of me. That is still an old past. Maybe I'm not supposed to go back to be that way. Maybe I'm supposed to be a new way. Maybe I'm supposed to be a better way, a higher vibration. The whole key is what this is saying is if you think about any issues and problems you have, if it's connecting you to the past, you're just like this blockhead right here. You can't see the blessings right in front of you. If you're connecting to the future and the anxieties of what is to come, am I going to have this, or am I going to have a car, a successful business, a new house, a new spouse? then you're forgetting like what's right here. Like whatever you don't have right now, it could be, it could be the stepping stone to what you're gonna get. It's beauty and joy in this present moment. And so what this reading is trying to say is seek that right now, and don't allow the past to trip you up and miss out on the beautiful things in front of you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, say embrace the beautiful things in front of you. Say it. Say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Peace and love. Namaste.
Namaste.